Hi guys, welcome to week 4. It's been a really crazy week for me. I've been doing a lot with putting together different plans for my therapy sessions with my 2 new clients that I've started working with. So for this video, I kind of want to talk about one of those cases in particular. I'm just going to give you some background just so you can I think I talked about her before, but this way I can just refresh you on that. She's 49 years old. She is a recovering alcoholic. She also has a really long history of all different sorts of substance abuse, alcohol abuse. She was sexually molested by her brother when she was young. She came out about the abuse to her family, and her other 2 siblings, including the abuser, now do not talk to her. Her father died, and her one sister wouldn't even let her in the house to use the bathroom at the funeral. So she's got a lot of feelings of abandonment and feeling like she's really, I don't want to say bitter, but she's really resentful over the fact that their lives turned out really well, in her opinion. They have really good jobs and houses and kids, and she kind of went down a really bad path with the drugs and alcohol. So she's currently a recovering alcoholic. She's been sober for 18 months. And so that brings me into like my next part of this. So for the most of her sobriety has been a little bit easier for her because she was with a man that she was with for about 10 years. It was a long-term relationship. And even though she was focusing on herself and getting better, she also put a lot of time and energy into being with him. It was a long-distance relationship. And in February, they broke up. He cheated on her, and he's now dating the woman he cheated on her with. And it's really, really fresh for her. She's really emotionally unstable right now because of that. And then that also kind of feeds into all of the emotion of like her childhood and all the abuse. She's just kind of all over the place a little bit. It's really hard to get her to kind of focus. She's also kind of a hyper person by nature. She's just talks very quick. She's got a million thoughts going on. She's just all over the place a little bit. So I was thinking about coming up with a way to kind of slow her down. We've been practicing a little bit of mindfulness, and another thing is like whenever she'll talk about her family or her ex-significant other, she just completely loses control. Like she's an emotional wreck, and I think it's just because it's very new for her. And she's always been in relationships throughout her life, not good ones, and she knows that this was like not a healthy relationship, and she knows she's better off, but it's still really getting to her, and she just, the second she mentions anything in therapy, she just completely breaks down. So I'm trying to come up with ways to kind of calm her down, be able to talk about things without it turning into a completely emotional, like, breakdown for her. So I have been hearing a lot, actually, about therapeutic coloring, and I'm thinking about kind of trying that with her, just so that she's kind of focusing on the coloring while she's talking, so that she's not quite as, I guess, overcome with the emotion of talking about it, kind of just like even it a little bit. So I think I'm going to get some coloring books and try that out, just because in the beginning it's just really fresh for her, and she's just really easily set off by talking about anything like that. So I'm thinking that it might be good for her, and it's also a really good practice of mindfulness. So I will also attach an article I found about coloring and how it can really help with anxiety, self-esteem, focus. And I'm wondering if you guys have ever tried therapeutic coloring. I think someone mentioned last semester that they had considered it or tried it. If you haven't tried it, would you consider trying it with certain clients? And also, do you guys have any other ideas for how I can kind of work with her to get her to kind of slow down a little bit and kind of just, she just is all over the place when she talks about, she'll go from talking about the ex relationship to how angry she is at her siblings, and she's just all over the place. So I'm trying to just get it to slow down and not become too overwhelmed. So I'll attach the link for the article and you can read that, and hopefully you guys have some feedback for me.